Greetings, Guardian.
It's pretty nice. Be pretty nice if I didn't already have them. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, this is going to be a really interesting video because a lot of what I'm about to say needs to be said because it's important that it's out there because a lot of what I am hearing is complaining and upset people towards Bungie, and I am not a hardcore Destiny person. If anybody was to tell me that I was a Destiny addict, I'd tell them no. I personally just have nothing better to do. That's the true answer. And real quickly, I'm going to state this for the record. Destiny is not a good game. I liked if I made any quick scores on anything, it was normally because I enjoyed the campaign a little bit. And the important thing I'm going to go ahead and tell you is that I just got done watching somebody who said that Bungie continues to recycle the same enemies over and over again, and everybody's bored of them. Well, to the lore aspect, that's not exactly a problem. I hate it when people say that and they know nothing about the lore. Granted, lore doesn't excuse everything. Lore does not excuse everything. But the important thing is that if an enemy is repeated, it means it was repeated because of story. Take the Vex for instance right now. Why fix something? I don't agree with the statement anymore. I'm not going to get into why, though. Why fix something that isn't broken? Everybody uses that as a good excuse. Well, that's how the Vex see it. And are they bad guys? I'm pretty sure they are. So, real quickly, I want to state this for the record. The Vex are evil. They want to force everything down a narrow path that leads to them ultimately succeeding and turning everything in the universe to their specifications. They are a race that sees themselves as perfect. Now, whether you think that qualifies them repeating the same enemies over and over again, that's up to you. But lore-wise, that's how it has to be. There's no other way that can be. Although, I do agree with almost everybody out there that this game sorely lacks in change, interesting and challenging gameplay. The raids don't count because everybody figures them out in a week. A serious week. Now, if I seriously wanted to finish something in a week, I'd go play Call of Duty. Because Bungie and Activision have no right to ask for $60 for this entire game and then tell us we have to pay more. And I do agree with somebody that I just watched. This is not an expansion. It's not. It just really is not. An expansion qualifies in good content and adding on. This DLC was already ready for us before we bought the game. Which, how would they know? Let's put it this way. There's no way a good video game company is going to save a DLC that they could already put in the game for paid DLC. Okay, let me calm down. First, this DLC is small. It put in a bunch of really small things, and I'm not counting any like extra updates that should have been here before the game launched, because that is sorely on Bungie and Activision's heads. They should have had all this prepared before the game started. And that is, I will completely fight that till the end. Because I want you to look at any good games of this kind done. World of Warcraft can be compared to this game very slightly. But even then, I want you to be very careful how much you try to compare it to this. World of Warcraft did everything Destiny did to God level tier. And it's not funny when I think about it. Because the more and more I think about it, the more and more it feels like either Bungie or Activision, probably should have said and/or, because I'm starting to question Bungie a little bit more now. They're just greedy as hell. I want you to look at this. I could go down there and engage in that fight. But no, there's a public event over here. Now, I want you to notice, all those enemies are the same enemy. That is fine for lore purposes. But when you fight a boss like Panopsis, or whatever his name is, from this DLC, that was good. That was a good idea. It brought to the table something interesting. But when it was done in... For me, it took a little bit longer, because I didn't just run past everything. I actually killed everything because I wanted bright engrams, which I'm going to get into that later. This game should have had more content by now. Just, I should not have been done with the story for a week. Another, like, I think a week would do it. Especially since I'm in school, so that would take a good 2 weeks for me. Maybe 2 weeks and a half. That's fair. That's logical for a good game. Although, I think Activision has slowly crept in. This is my opinion. I think Activision has slowly crept in to say, no, you're going to make money for us. Because Call of Duty's dying. And we know it. And everybody who wants to say, oh, another Call of Duty hater. Guess what? Call of Duty sucks. No innovation has been made since World War II. Not World War II. I forget, everybody's gonna judge me by the new one. The First World at War. There has been no improvements. The only thing that's improved is grenades. Not grenades. Any weapons and extras. The customization. And how you can edit your character. Which, I'm sorry, in a video game where I just shoot people and a lot of people just don't give a shit anymore, I don't care about customizing my character that much. But, and then let's take a look at this. Call of Duty did the exact same thing that Battlefield 1 did. They went back to boots on the ground instead of this jetpack shit. I'm pretty sure there's a coincidence there that they just ripped off the same exact shit from another company. Anybody who tells me that's not true, you're a lying sack of shit. And all you do is eat dog shit. And guess whose dog shit that is? That's Activision's. But anyways, I'm getting way off topic here. The whole point of Destiny is to evolve, to become this great character, this great person who, after time and after time and time again, continues to amaze those who can't fathom doing what you could do. And what I feel like is, I feel like everybody else in this game slowly going through a grind over and over again. It's like firing this gun right now. I feel like I'm firing the same exact bullet day after day, week after week, hour after hour that I put into this game. And what do I get out of it? I get the same exact bullshit. And this game, the story was good, but it should have lasted longer. Now, I'm okay with the Gaul storyline. I brushed through that really fast because I forced it. But even then, that has no excuse for being somewhat as short as it is. there are some things that need to be there for a game to be good. And I personally like a game with a story. I don't like the saying, because. Unless context has been added before it. It's like a teacher telling you, because I said so. Are you going to go out and buy a game that your friend just says, because it's good? I wouldn't. Hell, I practically praised this game in D1. And guess what? It didn't deserve it. This game is only fun when you have friends. And even then, you get so extremely bored by it. And guess what? The game doesn't earn a damn penny you put into it. The only reason I play it is because, one, the community's pretty good. Two, I like the story. That's it. A game should have more than 2 reasons that you like it. And guess what those reasons should be? It should have good weapons, the storyline in the game should be good, which, that's something else I'm going to talk to you about, is the fact that when the story, you know what, I'll talk to you about it now, because I was already going to get on a rant about it. When the story was added into Destiny 2, what happened is they took away the grimoire. Like, I guarantee you, if you go check it, the grimoire is not there. It's gone. And what's bad about that is the fact that nobody who wants to be interested in the story can now do that. Because there's no other way to really engage in the story. And the only way to do it now is to seriously play the game from... Hold on. There, Jesus. To play this game over again. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. There's plenty of things out there that you can go, like, scan. But guess what? Nobody really wants to do that. The best place to go get this stuff is there's a website, I forget the name of it, has every quote in Destiny history put into it. And that was probably the best part of this game, is the fact that I could go access the lore when I felt like it. It's good. It really is. But the bad part is it's not in the game. Again. So here's the thing. Destiny upgraded one set of enemies. Because I'm not going to include the Hive. I'm not going to, because technically, what really changed? Seriously, that's not a joke. The Knights got a few banners on their back. Ooh, that's not really much of a change. What that means is that another Hive Ascendant god is coming, which is confirmed in the story that has been presented to us, and because there's a guaranteed DLC. That should already be in the game! It's not hard to understand! God, I can't English. I should probably go to school. But, anyways, the whole point that I'm proving here is the fact that this game is nowhere near perfect. But it's not as bad as a ton of people want to admit. And the thing about it is that even if they don't know, they could go look up channels. Like, if I'm a small channel, so I doubt this is ever going to reach anyone. But the idea is that this game is not a good game. It's going to attract people who are a little bit dead-minded. And that's why, for me, I'm going to keep playing this. Because I want to enlighten people on what a good fucking game is. And anybody who tells me I don't know what a good game is, whoo, boy, you don't know what a good opinion is. I'm sorry, but no. You do not know what a good opinion is if you don't know what a good game is. A good game is something like the original Mass Effects. Had a ton of story. Explained a ton of stuff. Barely any glitches on release. And DLCs were unplanned. And here's something I like to say to even my mother. If we plan everything 100% of the time, where's the mystery in life? There you go. What's the fun if everything is just planned and already prepared for you in a nice little baggie? What's the fun in life if everything is planned? I'm sorry. I can answer for you. The pockets of the wealthy are getting richer. And I'm not going to get into that politics discussion, but Bungie and / or Activision are getting richer off of this game. I would love to play this game and admit it's a great game. But I can't do that. Because it's not a good game. Look at this. Look at this. It's like shooting a bullet sponge the whole time. Granted, this is only one enemy. But I want you to notice how fast this Hydra took it out. That's unfair as hell. But then again, the whole goal of this is to prove you are one of the better... God damn it. Is to prove that you can handle yourself in this game. It's to prove that there's a challenge. That you, in the story, have a long ways to go before you can truly challenge the darkness. Shit, battery's dying. Anyways, all I'm going to say now is that you have to think, and I'm going to say this to Angry Joe and the guy that I just watched, you have to realize this game is built on a story. And when the story people are going to argue against the story, normally you're going to lose, but story does not excuse some of what they're doing here. And I'm going to make this a very simple example. Now that I've done absolutely nothing here, I'm going to go back to the tower, and I'm going to prove something to everybody here. The Dawning is coming tomorrow, and for those of you who don't know what the Dawning is, it's basically Christmas. I'm going to tell you right now. What happens every year during the month of Christmas? Go ahead and say it in the comment section if anybody's listening. Every year, something comes out for you to pay money to see or collect. And I'm talking about video games, movie theaters, videos, iPods, everything is released around Christmas. That's the point. The Dawning is Christmas in Destiny. You have a bunch of money from Christmas? Here, spend it on this magical item, which when I get there, you will, if you're smart enough to realize it, you'll understand. Oh boy. Normally I don't go on rants like this. I've been struggling to get out videos, by the way. Sorry about that. Anyways, I want what I'm saying right now to be taken literally. This game is not perfect. For instance, light level was 20. Or not light level. Power level, or... I can't... Why can I not English? The levels in which you are... I can't put it. Son of a bitch. Your level, Jesus Christ, your level was level 20. You are automatically put at max level when you get this DLC, the Osiris DLC. And here's the thing. The reason I say that is because it's only 5 levels. That's sad and laughable. Look at this. Look at it all. Look at it all. You know what this is all really for? To keep you engaged. And it's not keeping me engaged too much longer. Because I'm pretty close to max level on almost all of my characters again. And this bitch... Look at that. Look at this. I want you to actually look at this. This is where your money's supposed to go. You're supposed to buy this. And when the Dawning comes out tomorrow, which I will be participating in, I might even drop a little bit of money on this. I'm not going to lie here. I might drop a little bit of money. But you are to buy these ornaments. You cannot earn them in-game. You cannot receive them through normal actions. You have to randomize it, either by leveling up your power, or not your power, your XP meter up here, or you have to come to Miss Pale Bitch here, and you have to buy. You have to buy silver. And I have done so. Once, no, I've done it a lot. And what I'm going to tell you right now is I have spent so much money on this game. It's the equivalence of Overwatch money. When you buy something, it should not have microtransactions. It's okay to have this type of system here. It's completely okay. But when you add microtransactions and then you lower the XP to a specific range in which it makes it even harder to get, I'm going to say Illuminous engrams. It's going to make it harder to get Illuminous engrams. You cannot acquire them faster. And guess what? XP boosters do not help you that much. They help you by 5%. Look at this. I want you to look at this game. They asked you for $60, and then they tell you, here, I want you to buy this brand new DLC. I promise it's worth it. I promise. Now, by all means, games anymore are doing this shit repeatedly. I can go through a few games that I have here that have done it. Let's see. Overwatch. Oh, God, you know what? I may have actually sold a lot of those games. Overwatch, the original Destiny, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. Well, no, wait a minute. Black Ops 2. No, I think there was. No, there wasn't. No. Black Ops 2 was still a virgin when it came to this. Anyways, the whole point is that the more and more you do this shit, it's gotten worse. I don't know who to blame at this point. I want Bungie to be exempt from this. I want them to be the company I know them to be. I played Halo. I have all the Halos. I can't stand it to see Halo and this game be the exact same thing. The rec packs are the exact same thing as Luminous engrams. And I don't even know if you can check this out, but I'm going to see if you guys can. Buy silver. No, you can't. Okay, no, you can't. Then I'll see if I can tell you real quickly. To buy silver, you get 200 coins, which 200 coins gets you one Illuminous engram. 200 coins gets you one Illuminous engram, and that's $5. Now, the next the higher up it gets, I think it's like $10. And I forget how much that gives you. Just the point of it is that this shit is not worth it. I may buy it because I'm not a rich person, but I like the way some of it looks, and I want to get specific things. But there are some things that just aren't worth it. For my opinion, this armor is not worth it. Some of it is a reskin. The only thing I think is worth it is the helmet. That's really it. Maybe even the chest piece. But the point of this is, do you want to spend this amount of money on shit like this? Or, because this is what I want. I want my weapons to look kind of cool. Crimson. This is a silver bullet skin. I got this. I have Osiris. For the Prometheus lens. What else? For the colony. These are cool. And if I'm correct, they have a little bit of lore behind them. Reef and Ruins. These skins are cool, and they add a little bit of lore to it. But let's take a look at this. They're asking you money for it. Why the fuck would I pay money for shit that isn't that awesome? These ghosts, there's only like 2 or 3 in here. These 3, I think, right here, are the only ones that I want. And they force you to go through a gambling match to get them. Because they want you to buy.
Thanks for shopping Eververse, Guardian.
Is this apparent now? Does nobody care? Does nobody really care? Because I like what Angry Joe said. It's like putting a frog in boiling water. If it's already boiling, the frog's gonna jump out. But if you slowly turn the knob, it gets worse. And the frog doesn't realize it's dying. Games are doing this. I don't even know. I'm actually looking at Titanfall. I don't think Titanfall does it, from what I understand. But there's so many games out there that do it. And plus, I'm going to tell you to go watch Angry Joe. If you see this, go watch Angry Joe. The only thing that he doesn't get right, he doesn't get Destiny right, slightly. His rating is still right, though. I would have given it a 7, though. Because it started out better than the original. But the point, anyways, is still... This game hasn't really changed. Look at what happened. You get the tower. You get a new social space. Let's see, right here, right? I forgot where it was the whole time. You get a new social space called the farm. And guess what? At the end of the game, you get some place that's called the tower again. Why? Why? And then I'm going to show you one other thing. Everybody knows who Zur is, right? Well, guess what? They decreased the amount of engrams that can drop in the wilds. And I'm talking about exotics. And only exotics. Everything else, if I'm correct, are fine. But they decreased exotics again. You want to know what's interesting about that? It's this right over here. It's this. It's right over here. It's this thing that slowly creeps into this game every time. It's the fact that they make you continuously grind for this. 3 of coins. If you don't know what 3 of coins does, it's right there on screen. It increases the chance to receive exotic engrams from sources in the world. And it lasts for 4 hours. That's a total improvement, the 4 hours thing. But they don't work right now. But you may be asking, but why has it been the game if they aren't working? Because Bungie didn't test it. That, or they're working as intended. I'm hoping the second one isn't the truth. But this is a first. Like a total first. They're letting you buy an engram for 97 legendary shards, which I'm kind of okay with that, but I believe it should be 50. Because that would be fair. But the whole point I'm trying to prove here is the fact that everything is a giant circle. They want you to farm for all this stuff. And while you're farming for legendary engrams, you might get a Loomis engram, which makes you go to Tesseverus. And then once you don't get what you want, it makes you want to buy more. And then the other thing is that if you can't get enough legendary shards, you're forced to go back out into the wilderness. Scrounge up a bunch more legendary marks. And then you get another luminous engram, and then you think, huh, maybe I could get another one if I spend $50 on this. And then you finally get what you want after the fucking 20th luminous engram, and you still don't have enough legendary marks to do what you gotta do. The whole thing is a giant circle. I've seen this done time and time again. The odds are it's gonna get worse in Destiny 3. And guess what? I'm gonna point this out, though. I want to make this very clear.
What happens when every cell is dead?
Never fall. That doesn't look like a good ship. No, it's not. Anyways. And there's another thing. Bright dust. You again are forced to just go out and do something else while you're trying to get bright dust. It's a never-ending circle. It's annoying and unnecessary.
You have fought everything else that entered this realm.
Shut up, Zer.
Fight a planet.
And then here's another thing. I have to grind the fuck out of these materials. And I've only got one of the last material I need. And that's it right there. There's 3 of these types of materials. There's the cultures, the amplifiers, and then there's blooms, which are like fossilized flower blooms or something like that. The flower blooms only come from... Come on. They only come from Heroic Strikes, Nightfall, Trials of the Nine, and guess what? The Leviathan. And guess what that means? You have to grind again. It's a giant circle. It's all meant now for you to buy things with. It's not meant to have fun. It's meant to deepen somebody's pocket. And whether that's Activision or Bungie or maybe a side studio that's kind of helping them here or not, I don't care. Bungie, you are flopping. I saw how far this is all decreasing. I saw the chart. You're going to lose your fan base. You're going to become an EA fan base. And guess what? To be compared with EA makes you an awful company. And what's worse is that Activision is probably trying to shove as much of this I gotta make money shit into your face as possible. If that's how it is, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you need to renegotiate your contract. Because this shit, I won't tolerate it. And I bought every DLC I could in the original. I stood up for some of this shit. I watched as players said this game was bad, and I told them, it's not as bad as you think. Well, I'm done telling people that. This game has ruined what I would consider the gaming industry. This type of game has ruined the gaming industry. My bad. There's no way for you to win in this, Bungie. I think of it this way. If you continue to drill into a hole for oil, and you think, it'll never end, it's fine. And then the day it ends, you hit rock bottom, you'll be the reason you failed. Because you forced all of this shit. You put into motion something that made the world less interested. Xbox gets no pass from me because they're already doing a lot of this bullshit. PlayStation does a good job because they give you free games.
Terrible need of my gift.
Xbox doesn't. The odds are, which one's gonna win? The one that's free, or the one that makes you spend millions of dollars? Why play something that's gonna make you spend millions if I can play something that I can actually enjoy? And don't get me wrong, I enjoy this game, but it's what is on my Titan's back that makes me happy. It's the lore. It's the weapons. It's what I can find out. Mystery drives people forward most of the time. And guess what? You've seriously got to get up off your ass. And yes, I did try to work that in. You've got to get up off your ass. You've got to start making content. You've got to start trying harder. I'm going to tell you to honestly tell Activision to shove it. They've ruined their series for money. Have you noticed what's happening to Halo? Because people can't let it go? It's ruined. The storyline is awful. You're going to do that to this one because it's a money grab? Because some of your fans are still here? God, I'd hope not. You have ruined yourself. And the reason you keep ruining yourself is because you don't know when to stop. Microtransactions need to stop. Or if anything else, they can be in the game, but you better give us a very generous system to earn some of those microtransactions. The only reason I still play is because I don't want to play any of my other games. I don't. In fact, I could quit Destiny right now, and I'd only come back for a DLC, get the weapons, and run. I don't care about anything else. Hell, that's what I started doing at the end of Destiny 1. I beat Axis, got the Outbreak Prime, quit. You have ruined yourself because you don't want to take the step forward. And no company wants to do it anymore. If all companies would take the step forward that's necessary, everything from the original games to that point would be honorable, but nobody's making improvements. There's no more improvements. There's only garbage to try and get money. And I'm going to get political all of a sudden. Any of those fucking rich assholes in Congress, you're turning into one of those. I'm going to tell you to stop. Because you're going to lose people bad. And I'm sorry if you're one of those rich assholes, but give to the public and maybe I'll be nice to you for once. I used to be middle class, and guess what? Now I'm barely middle class. We were high middle class. I should say high middle class. And now we're extreme low middle class because of your shit. Because of those rich assholes shit, I should say. Because I don't know if you're like one of those people. But the whole point of this is, don't ruin what's good. If something's already failing, let it die. And let it go out to pasture. Everything has to end. There are no exceptions. If there are any, and you can finally prove it, I might change my opinion. But until then, you have no excuse. This has been Game Guardians. Peace.